Hi betting experts, on Saturday the 8th of May we've got 9 terrific ITV races on Saturday, 3 tracks, Ascot, Lingfield and Haydock, variety with the jump racing coming from Haydock with the Swinton Hurdle at 3:10, some top class Derby and Oaks trials at Lingfield and some really competitive races at Ascot. We start off with our value angle selection. This is in the 340 at Ascot. Comes in the Victoria Cup, a heritage handicap over 7 furlongs. I really like Chief of Chief here. Charlie Appleby's handicap was a massive eye-catcher on his seasonal debut at Doncaster, missing the break completely under Spencer and running on strongly for a hand ride in the closing stages. That should have put him absolutely spot on for this valuable prize. Spencer's up again, the visor's on. I think he's very well handicapped on the pick of his form and he won't mind any easing of the ground. For our nap of the day, we go to the 2:30 at Ascot. This is the Carey Group Buckhounds Stakes, a listed contest over a mile 4. Alba Flora is very much in the notebook as a filly to follow this summer, and she ran a real blinder on her final run last season when finishing second behind Berkshire Rocco at this track over a mile 6. I think the drop back 2 furlongs in trip is no issue. She'll get a positive ride from the front. Rafe Beckett absolutely flying. He's had 6 winners in the last fortnight. Everything he runs is winning or going close, and this progressive stayer remains open to loads more improvement after just 5 career starts so far. I think the rain that's forecast at Ascot is currently good to soft in places will really suit her, and she'll take plenty of beating. Spinning through the other 7 races on ITV on Saturday, we start at the 155 at Ascot. The Winkfield Novice Stakes, a 5 furlong sprint, very much like lights on here. Sir Michael Stout's filly really impressed when landing a gamble on her seasonal reappearance at Nottingham last month, and she remains with plenty of scope to progress further in handicaps over the next few months. Like all of Sir Michael, she won't have been cherry ripe for that return. They all need a run, generally speaking, especially with the older horses, and this one should improve. I don't think soft ground will be any inconvenience. Over at Lingfield, the 2:15, the Novibet Derby Trial Stakes, a listed contest over 1 mile, 3.5 furlongs. A chance here for some inexperienced horses to get some experience of racing around the undulations of Lingfield, which is not totally dissimilar to Epsom. In a month's time, they'll be aiming to go to the Oaks after this. I like Nasher. Charlie Appleby's filly was only workmanlike in landing a short price at Sandown last month, but she's got lots of scope to improve. She showed a tenacious attitude there. I think the key is that A, she'll be at a fitness advantage over some of these rivals, but also the longer trip up a furlong and a half here will very much suit her. She's uncomplicated, she'll get a positive ride, and I think she might repel them all if she's able to lead. The 250 at Lingfield, this is the Derby trial, and it does look a good opportunity for Adea of Charlie Appleby's to win after a rather unlucky defeat on his reappearance at Sandown in the Bet365 Classic trial last month. If you watch that run back, well, you need to watch before the race. In fact, went mad in the paddock, messing about in the stalls, flopped out as a result and was soon in a poor position, but ran on strongly up the hill. I think the longer trip will definitely suit. There's loads more to come from him, and I think the yard will be very disappointed if he's beaten. He's one of the most impressive winners I saw last season when he won a backhand maiden at Nottingham by 9 lengths, and he's got scope to keep on improving. Over at Haydock, the 3:10, the 1 jumps race on the afternoon, the Swinton. Well, Stuart Edmonds has enjoyed a terrific spring, and his handicapper Roland Ward has been a great advert for his skills. He was really impressive at Aintree in April, showing a tenacious attitude to power home from the last. He has been hit by the handicapper, but a ground with a bit of cut in it should be ideal from here. They'll go a strong pace to bring his stamina into play. He seems sure to run well. Back to Lingfield for the 325, the Chartwell Filly Stakes, a Group 3 over 7 furlongs. Chris Wall's double or bubble really impressed me when winning a strong Newmarket handicap on her return. Despite being thought to need the run, she showed a smart turn of foot there. She's a strong traveller. I think this jump up into Group 3 will be no bother at all, and she'll take an awful lot of beating. I think if she was trained by a more fashionable yard than Chris Wall's, she might be one that's going to be much more touted, and hopefully she'll be a fair price. Back to Lingfield for the 4 o'clock, a handicap, 7.5 furlongs. I thought Turn on the Charm here was very eye-catching on his seasonal debut behind Astro King, and Astro King, although he's been beaten since, ran an absolute blinder in the Thirst Hunt Cup last weekend, a very unlucky loser part wide. So I think the form of that first run is very strong. He should be a lot sharper for it. He was weak in the market there. He's only had 5 runs on the turf, and James Fenshaw's tend to need a run, so he should take plenty of beating. And at Ascot, The last of the 9 races at 4:15, a handicap over a mile 4. Amanda Perrett's got her team in flying form at the moment. This one had been off for 8 months before returning at Newbury last time, finishing strongly, having been dropped right out in the early stages. That run should have put him spot on. The step up in trip should be ideal, and Kieran Schumacher is a good booking. Best of luck with all 9 ITV races on Saturday, betting experts.